Mr. Gorbachev, open this gate. Mr. Gorbachev. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Hi, everyone. We've got breaking news. Gorby passed away. I want to talk about him just for a minute because he was part of a great big trifecta in the 80s and 90s involving him, Reagan, and the Pope. You can't make this stuff up. Mikhail Gorbachev from Presidium to Presidio. Now, the Presidium is the president's mansion in Moscow, and the Presidio is like a military citadel in San Francisco. I'm going to be brief about it, but I mean, the whole world's a stage, and I just want to share a little bit about this guy. It's all so contrived. Okay, and I'm just going to touch mostly a little bit on the highlighted stuff. I'll leave the link if you want to read the whole article. Gorbachev met with Ronald Reagan in Geneva, and perestroika began, and that's the Russian word for reconstruction. That's when they dismantled the USSR. In '87, he visited Prague, called for the elimination of all nuclear weapons from Europe. Okay, that sounds like a healthy plan, but it's never been achieved. If they're real, I don't know. Okay. In November '89, he caused the Berlin Wall to come down. December, he saw Gorbachev went to the Vatican and saw the Pope. Next, he saw George Bush in Malta. See, this is, you can't make this stuff up. This was all premeditated planning amongst the oligarchs, the powers that be, the NWL, whatever you want to call it. Okay, on December 25th, he resigned as president and the USSR was officially dissolved. In an interview with the New American in '97, Malachi Martin, I'm going to pause. Now here's a Jesuit priest. I mean, the Jesuits are in it. They're part of the Vatican, okay? Get the drift? Now, Martin said a lot of true things, but he can't be trusted 100%. In my opinion, for instance, that the USSR didn't disintegrate naturally, but he was ordered to collapse. And that I believe. See, he's the big time spokesman. Okay, so Gorbachev goes from president of Russia, and he ends up practically with ownership of the Presidio in San Francisco. Does this make sense? You know, this is the end of the Cold War, and we hand him over a military base. It's just too weird. Within 2 years of his ouster, he moved to the Presidio in San Francisco. You know, was this a reward? Yeah, probably. I mean, he probably knew where he was going before he left. And what I didn't highlight, and this is the afterthought that wasn't probably so heavily on people's minds in the 80s and 90s, is at the very end, Gorbachev formulated plans for Green Cross International, his own version of ecumenical activity for the spiritual alliance of all true believers in man's earthly habitat. Now that's about a new age sentence as you get, and I think, with all the, with cows tooting, causing our problems. I mean, the absurdity of all of that. Okay, what I'm getting at is this earthly habitat, they want us to eat bugs and die. Okay, there's two things I want to bring up. Now, I'm unsure at a glance. I'm mostly doing going on memory, okay? So, but I'm verifying it. Okay, number one, Lieutenant Colonel Mike Aquino um, was at the Presidio at least into the late 80s, and he was a member of this church, with the Church of Satan. It's no lie. I can't make this up. Anyway, the late 80s, he was involved with a child daycare center scandal, and it involved doing very naughty things, and it immediately linked up to the Franklin scandal out of Nebraska that they were shipping children around. I'm trying to be as tactful as possible. But this is in the 80s, it's kind of like, the satanic panic, like it didn't really happen. Yeah, this stuff's been around a long time. And one last thought about it. Now I'm talking theory because I really don't know. But there is a fellow named Albert Pike that wrote important documents for this elite Satanist group. I don't know what else. I'm going to leave it at that. But he wrote about World War One, World War Two, and World War Three. Now, is it possible they broke up the USSR for a day such as this? Just thinking out loud. Okay, again, I don't know if Gorby and Aquino were at cross paths or not, or if they gave Gorby exclusive rights. But there you have it. I'm going to end with a clip from Sergei Baklakov, and he was talking about his opinion on it. I haven't watched the whole thing, but I'm not sure if he's seeing clear. Well, in such a way as I do, that this was a pre-planned event, and I don't. For me, anyway, there's nothing spontaneous about it. Okay, you guys, have a good day and God love.
Hello everybody, Sergei Baklakov Live. Yesterday late at night by Moscow time, the world have found about the death of the General Secretary of the Communistic Party of the Soviet Union, the first and actually the last president of USSR, Mikhail Gorbachev. Ironically, the man who destroyed the Soviet Union in August 1991 died in the age of 91 in August. Another curious and I would say even mystical thing is that just before Gorbachev this year also died another two persons who directly participated in the collapse, or should I say destroyal of USSR. Stanislav Shushkevich, the head of Belarus, the Soviet Socialistic Republic of Belarus, and then Leonid Kravchuk, the head of Ukraine, the Soviet Socialistic Republic of Ukraine back in those days. They all were the people who signed so-called Belavec Accords. Those are an accords forming the agreements declaring that the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, the USSR, has effectively ceased to exist and established the Commonwealth of Independent States, CIS, in its place as a successor entity. The documentation was signed at the state dacha near Belovezhskaya Pushcha, it's in Belarus, on the 8th of December 1991. Well, today, within the day, I've got many requests from you guys. You were asking what do I, as the Russian person who was born, yes, in the Soviet Union, thinking about Mikhail Gorbachev. Well, I think here I have to be pretty straightforward right away, and I'm gonna say that, in my opinion, no doubt, that Mikhail Gorbachev was the weakest leader of Russia for all its newest history. Weaker than even Nikita Khrushchev. He is the one who destroyed and dismembers one of the greatest countries ever without the real reasons for that.